Hello everyone and welcome to the ninth part tutorial of how to model the foundation of a house. This time what we're going to do, we're going to start by creating the links that holds up the doors, and basically they are also acting as like the wheels for the entire door to be slide on this track or those rails that we created earlier. Now, it's a little bit tricky to create this, and I'm gonna have to talk a little bit. So just to explain a few things for those who haven't researched this, thing. I have this picture, and this instrument here is basically um, one of two different kind of links that we have on this door. These are basically placed on the side of the door where the rail are, okay? And we have another one, which I'm going to show you in this picture. You can see that we have two different, basically these are three different, but those are two almost the same type of links, while this one has this extra pivot here. Now, I think that on earlier years, what happened is that whenever they manufactured those things, those instruments, there was this kind like this one or this one that's already has been inserted a wheel into it. Now the thing is, whenever you pick up doors heavy, such as a garage door, there is this huge pressure on those links, and in order to avoid them of breaking up because of this pressure, they built this instrument which will avoid, destruct, just broke your wheel pivot. Okay, so what happens in this scenario here? Basically, this area here, it's the bottom area, and this is the upper side of this, and the thing that holds all this pressure is this link here, this area of this link. So it's also containing the pivot and also containing the extra pivot for the wheel. And whenever it's lifted up, that way this pivot here is not armed, and the wheel can act by its own and still remain in place, okay, on the rail. Anyway, without further saying, here you can see it, and this is the reason why it's you can see this arrow that shows that this side should be up and whatever. So let's start and build this up. Now, I don't want to say that it's going to be a little bit difficult because I did started modeling my own model as very tiny, as not a real world scale. So everything here that I'm going to do from now on is going to be a very small scale and a little bit harder to work with. But anyway, we will have to do this that way, and that's all. So we will start off by creating a polygon pipe. And what I want to do is rotate this, holding down the J key, and rotate this that way. So now the poly pipe is facing, the hole here is facing the rail, like it was already assembled to the rail, okay? So like that, I'm going to switch to side view over here, and I want to scale this down pretty much same size as the rail and bring it exactly where it is right now. And you can see the axes of the move tool are acting for me as like some alignment tool. So I can align this y-axis handle with the center of my rail. So that way I know that the pivot will be exactly at the same spot right here. Okay, so that's good for me. And I can scale this down like so. Now the pivot itself can be very much smaller than the wheel itself. So you can decide something like that as your pivot scale. And following this, I'm gonna Control D, duplicate this one, and I'm gonna place second one in a place where you can see it's not passing the door. Okay, so it's exactly where the door is, and from this place I can start and build this thing all correctly. I'm gonna grab those two. I don't want to move the distance in between them. This should be the distance, and I already placed them in a way that like it was in the picture, like this hole, and this is the, you know, the link pivot. So we have this, like this, and move them along together so I can work with them, but keep them stick together, and we shall see how it goes. So right now I'm gonna bring this like so, press F to focus on this, and let's start and do some patching and whatever. I'm gonna apply the shading, wireframe unshaded, so I can see things, and hold on the J key. I'm gonna rotate this in a way that maybe they have some connection point, like this face here is in front of this face. See these two. So that's good for me. Now I'm gonna right click, choose face, and delete those faces. Right click, choose face, and delete those faces. Press F8. Now it's better to start off with less geometry. I mean, I'm using right now the default edges, and if you want to reduce it, please do so. It just seems a little bit too much. So let's take a look, just another look at this and see. All right, so something like that, that's fine, I guess. And yeah. Again. All right. So understand, I can't move it that much. I can only bring it here, and maybe that way get some a little bit more. Get them close to each other. I'm gonna grab both of them, mesh, combine, and oh, I should have done a little bit more twist to it, I guess. Okay. Well, let's stay satisfied that way. Mesh, combine, right click, edge. Let's grab those two edges. Okay, and I'm gonna go over edit mesh or mesh bridge. Where is the bridge function? It's here, and bridge them. Okay. Gonna do the same here, mesh, and you can press G after once that you bridged. Use the bridge function. So we can do this to all of them, like so. And oopsie. This one, G. So these are patched that way. Now I'm gonna do this here as well, and here. I don't know why it's happening that way. I'm gonna take a look at this picture once again. All right. So yeah. Okay, so if this is the side view of this, I need to create some, I don't know, something like making sure maybe those two, I will try to patch them, but not entirely sure about this. I'm gonna do the same here. Sometimes it's just doing this stupid thing, but anyway. Let's grab this. Well, maybe let's grab these two, extrude them, switch to move tool, do something such as this. Second thought, I may use all these three. Switch to move tool here. Okay, it looks like I did double extrusion there. So let's do this all over. Extrude, switch to move tool, and yeah, I'm gonna scale this over here, and let's try and snap this to something like 90 degrees. Hold on the V key, like aligned with this edge here. Okay. Yeah, that looks fine. So I need to think in a way on how to patch this in a proper way. So I will need to maybe grab this one. I don't know, these two guys here, extrude them, switch to move tool, bring them here, switch to scale tool, align this that way. So that's fine with me. I'm gonna bring it here, press F8, shift right click, insert edge loop. I'm gonna insert one edge here, switch to scale tool, squeeze it so it will be a straight, switch to move tool, V key, snap it to the same place where I want this edge, and press F8, shift right click, insert edge loop once again, squeeze it a little bit, like so, make it straight, hold on the V key, and that's cool. Now I can simply grab those two, hold on the V key, and snap them, right click, vertices, first object mode and then vertices, grab those, mesh, edit mesh, merge components, oops. I think this is a little bit too very close to each other. So I'm gonna bring them back to the same position they were, and I'm gonna use the merge vertex tool. That way it will be easier. See? Just like that. So while this is done, let's try and fill this triangle here. Double click on it. It's double click on it should loop it. Otherwise you didn't patch this area. So mesh, fill hole. And now it's just a matter of how we gonna break it into quads. So to make it quad, the simple way is to pass a line through here, and it will end up here, while here it will have another vertex. So everything will remain quads that way. So you're gonna pick this edge, control right click, edge ring utilities to edge ring and split. And this is the easiest way that I can provide right now in order to make this happen. So that's cool. I think that's pretty cool. That's enough. You don't need to do more than that. I'm gonna pick those, extrude them, switch to that. I don't know why it's picked that. Oh, okay. This and that. Let's try extrude those. I'm not sure that it will be the best thing to do. It's not. I'm gonna grab this as well and extrude it and move tool. Okay, so that's nice, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's squeeze this. And let's modify vertex by vertex, vertex by vertex. So maybe just giving it the same feel, nothing more than that, just a little bit more thing here that maybe it's not necessary. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, there is some meat to it, but well, but it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, it doesn't have to have this extra faces. So let's get rid of them. Press delete. Let's stay satisfied with that. I guess that's fine. Let me just have another look. Yeah, that's pretty fine. Not too much. And Yeah. So I'm gonna grab this, control, I'm gonna extrude this first. Entire shape, switch to move tool and extrude it to about so. Okay. Don't make it that big. It's a very small unit object. So with that done, I can press F8, and now I need to decide where should this go. Now I'm sure that these faces here should be extruded. So we're gonna extrude them, switch to move tool, extrude them that way. Okay. Now this will deserve some extra edge loops, of course, but right now I'm okay with that. So just a little bit that way, press F8, and then shift right click, sorry, control D, duplicate this, switch to move tool, modify center the pivot, probably D, hold on the D and the V key, and put your adjustment pivot tool somewhere here in the middle. Okay, so this acting as the middle cut. So now we can simply switch to scale tool, and if you can open the channel box and do that switch like that, so you can see it's again scale X, so -1 will do that. Now I'm gonna grab this and this, mesh, combine, and here you go, we have this thing. I'm gonna grab those vertices here. Well, I'm sure that there are faces inside there that I don't need. I don't need the faces that in between those two parts. So because of that, what I will do, I'm gonna switch to X-ray. I'm gonna grab those faces. So right click, I'm gonna choose this faces, and this faces, and then, sorry, Control Shift to add to selection, and then Control to unselect this side of the faces, sorry, this side of the faces. So only the middle one will remain, and I can simply press delete and delete them. Press F8. Let's turn off X-ray. Right click, vertices. Let's grab those vertices, mesh, edit mesh, merge components. That's not a good idea because this is a very small piece. So I will need to undo that, edit mesh, merge component, and lower down the threshold, which is already down. So let's put something like 20 and click apply and see if it happens again, this wrong merging. So it didn't. So I will still keep it open, but just want to make sure that it's closed. And it should be closed because they're pretty at the same position. They are at the same position. So let's close this. Anyway, that done. Where is it? Press F to focus on it. And now we can simply choose face, grab this face, this face, this face, this face, extrude them once, move tool, and pull them like so. Right click, choose vertex, grab this only vertices, and do that same thing that we seen on the picture. Something that looks something the same, somewhat the same. For me, as I see it, there is a little bit difference. I mean, I don't need to stretch this. It's already should be like that. So I'm gonna undo that, and I will simply stretch this, these vertices here. Okay, about so. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Let's say that that's fine. Press F8. If you're into making this the same, so I will probably suggest to grab this edge, shift right click, bevel edge, switch to attribute editor. Where is this edge? Well, I did bevel this. Let's do this again. Shift right click, bevel edge, segments. Let's add, let's say 6 or 5 segments. Click apply. Close. Didn't do nothing. Maybe because this is a sharp edge and it doesn't react the same. Let's see, friction. Doesn't do anything. Nothing. Offset. Nothing happened. I'm not sure why. This is weird. Very weird. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm puzzled now, but anyway. Trying to understand why that happened, but let's not delay on this. I think that's the overall, that's pretty nice. So I'm gonna copy this, Control D, and switch to rotation tool, which again, I'm not sure why it's not showing. Modify center pivot maybe. All right. Hold on the J key, and I'm gonna rotate this upside down and bring this one over here, while basically I'm gonna bring this a little bit upper. Right click, choose faces. I'm gonna delete this very extremely like so, because I don't want to mess around much with that. Yeah, I'm gonna delete the entire faces here, just like so. Those. Oh no, sorry, that is careless. Let's do this that way from the side view. At least that way I can ensure that I don't delete anything. So this is those and those. Okay, switch to perspective view. So you see, it's all good. Now, if you really want, you can try and somewhat stretch maybe a little bit more than that. I suggest you not. Keep it that way, simple. And right click, choose vertices. Let's see what goes in and what goes out. So yeah, I understood. So this should be a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna grab those vertices and just squeeze them a little bit, so they will be inserted inside the other thing here. Oh, I see. I do have to fix something. Anyway, press F8. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. Let's see, bring this up. And let's press F to focus on it. I'm gonna, I don't know, delete half cut of this. I'm gonna keep this and choose this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, and that edge, that edge. That way, I have the entire thing here is open, so I need to simply extrude this once, switch to move tool, hold on the V key and snap it, cover these, and once again, hopefully it will perform good this time. Let's just grab all the vertices, try merge component right away, so nothing that unneeded has been merged. So it looks good. This is bugging me here, this area, which is not, it's this line. It's not like, anyway. Press F8, bring it back to object mode. it's in the center of the pivot, so no need to modify it. Simply Control D to duplicate this, and it's open right now, so that's good. And let's change the scale of this to -1, so we have them that way. Grab this one first, this one, mesh, combine, right click, vertices, grab the vertices in the middle, mesh, edit mesh, merge component, press F8. Great. Now for fun part here, which I didn't, well, this is bothering. Again, modify center pivot. Let's bring this here, and I do want to, well, I did manage to bring this as it's not overlapping each other or intersecting with each other. So as for now, I'm gonna move this up, switch here, hold on the D and the V key, and middle mouse click on this vertex point that's supposed to be there. Press F and see this. Yeah, it's exactly there, and I can now hold on the V key and snap this to the position that way. You can use any vertex point that meets, like if it's not, you can see that right now it's not really there, so I'm gonna use this and hold on the V and snap this over here. That way I have some, yeah, I have some space that way, so I'm gonna only snap it with the Y axis, and that's it. So they are in front of each other, and that's great for us. Now we can either choose to use a third and fourth pipes in order to create those pipes that goes in between them, or we can build this as you know, from what we already have here. But this will just deserves a little bit more attention for you. So anyway, whatever you like, whatever you choose, I'm gonna do this. If you like to just add one more instrument here in between, like pipe, and that's it, that's fine with me. And it's okay. I think that mainly it's okay. So I'm gonna work on only one side here. I'm gonna shift right click, insert edge loop. I'm gonna insert one edge loop here, like so. Right click, choose face. I'm gonna grab this face, shift double click on this one, and I'm gonna delete this. Okay. Now I'm gonna grab this edge here, shift double click on this edge, and shift double click on, sorry, this, and double click on this. And now, well, actually it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna unselect these edges. I'll simply grab these and do something such as extruding this, move this that way, squeeze this a little bit that way, and now double click on this one, extrude it, switch to move tool, hold on the V key and snap it to this one, and then extrude it once again, switch to move tool, hold on the V key, extrude it to the center, and then extrude this one once again, switch to move tool, hold on the V key, and to the center. So we created this thing, okay? So with that, we can simply, again, delete, half cut of this, very simple like that, press F8, shift right click, insert, sorry, modify center pivot, of course, D, V, hold them both together and snap somewhere to the center, Control D to duplicate this, switch to scale tool, here -1 I guess, so we don't need scale tool, grab them both, mesh, combine, right click, vertices, middle ones, again, connect them, merge components. And now you need to decide what's next. You can either choose to double click these and these and these. Yeah, we'll have to just show you that way. Extrude it once more. About so. See? And then grab this, double click on this one. Grab this one, double click on this one, extrude, pull this outside to, well, hold on the V key and snap it that way, and then extrude it once more, and then open them up a little bit, I guess. Extrude it once more. You can always click on this and then open this a little bit that way, and then, whoa, sorry, I've done something wrong here. Two step back, extrude, bring it here, switch to scale tool, and open them up. Okay, something like that. All right, so that's fine. Press F8, and we're gonna have to do the same thing over here. So shift right click, insert edge loop, add one edge loop here, right click, choose face, grab this, double click on this, delete edge, double click on this edge, extrude it, switch to move tool, bring it like that, switch to scale tool, do something like cone here, and then double click on this, extrude, switch to move tool, hold on the V key, and move it over same position where this edge is, like that, and then extrude once more, move tool to the center, double click on this one, extrude, switch to move tool, hold on the V key, move it to the center. And we're gonna do this all over. So instead of doing this all over, I'm gonna double click on this and double click on this and double click on this. And you can see if I'm gonna extrude this that way and inwards like so. Okay. Well, you can see that there is a set of faces that I don't need here. So I'm gonna double click on them and delete them. Okay. Now you can simply do this at one step. Get rid of F-cut, press F8, and before we will do this, I'm gonna make sure that I have this extra thing picking out here. So let's extrude this, switch to scale tool and open this up as something like that. Okay, press F8. Control D to duplicate this, modify center pivot, D, V to adjust the pivot into the middle. Okay, this is the middle for us, and -1 here at the scale X. Flip this copy and then grab both of them, mesh combine, right click, vertices, grab everything in the middle. Okay, you see, edit mesh, merge components. Press F8 to bring it back to object mode, and here we go. We have this pivot ready. Now, one more thing, you want to copy this one. Okay, Control D. I like the way that it looks, so I'm going to modify center pivot for this. I'm going to bring this over here. So I will have the rest of the links here. Okay, I will create another different link from this one. Now, as for now, this one is ready. we don't have screws on it, and I didn't manage to bevel those sharp edges, and I really don't want to start and you know, mess around with this thing. We will always be able to add some kind of things that looks like a screws or whatever. Not really that important right now. It's all about the links, and I think I'm gonna continue at the next part with this one. I still want to practice something with this, but I think that for the overall, it looks pretty good. Also, pay attention for whenever I did this. Okay. Few very important points are that whenever I place this pipe in front of the rail, I didn't mention that this one shouldn't be past the door. It should be exactly where the door is. Okay, so that way you know what the distance from it. So right now, if I'm gonna grab this thing, let's say I will combine them for now, center the pivot, and I'm gonna bring this over the door. It should fit correctly to whatever I've done there. Okay, so there won't be any problems with it. I'm gonna switch to side view, press F here to focus on it, and do that. Okay. I guess that's very gentle work, but it looks like everything is in place. Maybe not. I mean, I can still argue about if it's centered or not, but let's see. Let's say that this is the center, so you still can maybe pull all those vertices, here from this area, just a little bit to be attached to the door. But at the overall, that's good. And that serves us pretty good. Will serve us. Let's see, I'm gonna put this one over here. Well, you do want to make sure that you position them correctly. I mean, there is this area here where it's allowed to be band. So this area should be exactly where separation of those doors, like so. All right. But I don't want to deal with it right now. It's really just to see if it fits there. And it seems that it does. So I don't have any problems with it. I'm going to undo a few steps to bring it back to the origin where I started to build this thing. And I'm going to file save this scene as, I'm going to call it Garage 221 so I don't have a mess with my files. Thank you for watching. I will see you at the next part. We will continue with creating those links, and yeah, have a good day, people. Bye bye.